In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful sort of modern bright card with a stunning frame on it using the brand new JND551 and 550. This is the 550 dotted lines, and we're going to be using the center from this and the frame, and we'll also be using the 551 stitch lines, and we'll just be using the frame maker on this one. So nice and simple, not time consuming, very quick to make, but looks very, very complex. So let's see how this card was made. So to make this card, we're going to start with the frame, and we need to use the JND551 stitched lines die, which gives us a beautiful thin layer on top with that beautiful stitching on it, and the JND550 dotted lines. And we're using here, and this, the dotted lines will give us a perfect 4x6 frame, and the stitched lines will give us a lovely layer to go on top. So I've just got two pieces of card here, coconut white and a piece from our pinks pack, which is this beautiful sort of salmon coloured pink. So you simply need to tape down each die through onto the card and actually run that through your die cutting machine. And when you've got that and you've cut them, I've just foam mounted them together to give me the absolute perfect. And as you can see on the mat here, it's exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So absolutely perfect frame, which fits the 4x6 card. So this is absolutely spot on to go onto a 5x7 card, and fits exactly with the cards that you can buy from the shops and goes into the envelope. So now we want to make the center for this. So to do that, I'm going to use the center from the JND550 dotted lines. And I'm just using the center. I'm not using the inserts. The inserts are separate. So I've got a piece of card here cut, and I've cut this to just below 4x6. So basically 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And because the pieces in the center are separate, you want to take the flower pattern first and pop that roughly in the middle. And I just tape that down on the side. Then I take the edging piece and edge it up at the top. And you can actually match this up really easily because there's a little notch in the flower and a little notch there. So matching those up will give you exactly a straight line. So you don't have to worry about, guessing it or measuring or anything. Match the notches together to get that up. And of course, it allows you to cut this out and have a solid circle in the middle, or use a circle die and cut a circle out of it, or put 4 in a row, or have them. There's so many different options and connotations you can do with this. It's just fabulous. So again, we run that through and die cut that, and that will give us this piece here. Just absolutely perfect with that beautiful sort of dogwood flower in the center and the stripes. So we could color behind this, we could add glitter behind this. There's lots of possibilities. What we're going to do is do some paper piecing. So I've taken a piece of the John Next Door double-sided adhesive, and I've simply taped this down and put it to another piece of white card, and again cut that to a similar size. So you want to add that on the back. So if you've got the mat, you can do it this way and place it down and press it on. If you haven't got the mat, don't do that, because this adhesive will stick to absolutely anything apart from the magic mat. So what you want to do is place that on top and then use the spare piece to burnish it. And then all I've done is to cut both pieces. So I've cut those pieces again, but in 2 contrasting colours from our canvas card in the pink set. And it's just a case now of using the pickup tool from the 4-in-1 tool and alternating colours. So I've laid them out here onto one of the mats, the A4 version, and you're just going to go and mix your colours through. And this means that by doing this, you can do this twice. So just like that. And then choose which colour you want to be for your flowers. So I'm going to go for that stronger sort of salmon pink. And these are all the same. So they can go in any of the spaces. You don't have to be exact at all. So I'm just going to drop those in. And then again, I'm going to alternate colours. So I'm going for this softer pink into each of those places. Nice and simple, nice and easy. As you can see, this is not that time consuming. I know a lot of people find the paper piecing mindful. If you find it's in the wrong place, turn your 4-in-1 tool over, reveal the pokey tool, and that'll let you move it around and get it into exactly the right spot. So we just drop it lightly. You see there it's slightly off, so we use our pokey tool just to get it into the right place. And then I'm going to match on the other side and follow exactly the same pattern of colours. And that's how quickly you can paper piece this. And again, depending on who you're sending this to, this could be done in all sorts of different colours. You could do it in 3 or 4 different colours as well. Do it in blues, do it in browns if you want to make a men's card. Do the 2 side pieces, leave that circle in the centre solid, and just stamp a sentiment in there. Let's just use a glue eraser and take that little bit off, make sure everything's stuck down. So there we have our centre all done, and of course I've got all of the pieces to make this a second time. So now I'm going to bring in my frame, and I put more foam tape on here. So I've got 2 layers on, a layer between the pink and the white, and then another layer on the back to frame this up. And just hover over until you're happy that that's framed right. Any little pieces that poke out, because you never guarantee to cut in the right place, tilt your scissors and undercut that excess off. And then I've got a card blank here that I've made, and this is just a simple 5x7, and I matted and layered it with 5.5 inches in pink and 5 3/8 in the white, just to give me a nice little frame for my frame. Glue on the back, and we'll simply put that right into the center, just like that. And then it's up to you then to decorate. I'm using the stitched dogwood, which matches exactly, because it's exactly the same flower. So I've made up here a set. I actually have spares. When you make up a set like this, you actually have spares left. So I made up 2 larger flowers as well. And I've used the beautiful stitched vine leaves, again, that match the stitching that's on the flower, that's around the frame. It's all designed to go together. In the centre, I simply want to add a large stuck-on pearl in the same way as I've put it in the centre of the flowers. Again, these are the Craft Artist pearls, so it works perfectly, just like that. And then I'm simply going to add my leaves. So to do that, I'm going to use glue glaze. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue glaze on the back of each of the leaves, so that they can stick across that frame. So glue glaze on the back of each leaf. And I've put the 2 opposing sets, so the larger ones here at the bottom. I'm going to take one of the smaller sets, just like that, to create me a little triangle to phrase it off. Just make sure, because obviously you want this to fit in the envelope, that none of the leaves come over the sort of the bottom of the card, certainly. And then to add the flowers on, I'm using the 3D Craft Artist glue gel, as it sticks the flowers straight away and makes them very permanent and dries sort of slowly overnight. And then we pick our flowers, and we arrange those beautifully in. So I've gone for 1 of the large in the darker colour and 2 smaller in the lighter. And then I'm just going to add on the other leaf just at the top, just so we can balance that one out. So I've gone bottom left, and I'm now going to the top right for this. We're just going to pop that one on. I'm going to pick a contrasting colour flower. just like that. And we'll pop that onto there. And again, you could do this in so many different ways, but there you have a beautiful, striking modern card made with a perfect frame, very, very quickly with paper piecing, with that beautiful stitched dogwood flower decorating it and in the centre. For more ideas, hints, tips and inspiration, why not visit the John Next Door official page on Facebook.